Hello and welcome to another update video about AVAX. Yeah, AVAX seems to follow currently the forecast of higher prices. Yeah, so my idea, the last few videos communicated, was that due to the current price action, it is quite likely that we reach the next extension target around $54. Of course, we need to give it a little bit of space. You know, it is not necessarily going to go there in a straight line. Due to today's upside, I've added a more direct pathway to the upside. But at this stage, I cannot even rule out that we will visit the support area again. There are a couple of scenarios how this can play out. In both scenarios, the $29 level is support. Okay, so you can, well, there is one for the white count, which is a more direct pathway to the upside to $54. And here the support area, or at least the invalidation point, is at $36.60. So as long as we're holding $36.60, that gives you some parameters to watch. The white wave count can play out. So a more direct pathway towards basically $54, yeah, in a diagonal pattern. This would be a diagonal, and in these diagonal patterns we can see lot of choppy price action, but still a trending move. And if it's really a diagonal, then it tells us a lot about the movement over the coming, well, days, weeks. So it will be difficult to nail the micro count, but it also tells us that if it's an ending diagonal, it's likely going to be the last move of this cycle. Okay, so from that point of view, diagonals are great, especially ending diagonals, because they typically predict a trend reversal that could be quite sharp. So from an uptrend into a downtrend. But we'll see. We're not there yet. And at the moment, I don't want to stand that rally in the way. So therefore, my approach has been we focus on higher while being very much aware that our targets have already been reached. So $40, that was my last target. And it's even broken above that. So we're now beyond what would normally be a very likely target range for the A wave that we discussed in previous videos, which means we're now extending. So whenever we have extensions, we want to follow them. We don't want to stand a rally in the way. You know, we recognize that there are often overbought levels in crypto on the indicators, but you don't want to say, oh, it's overbought, it's coming down. That's not the way to do it in crypto. We want to just be cautious, want to watch for the support levels to hold or not to hold. And if they don't hold, then we know when to expect that trend change. Until then, we go with the trend. We follow the trend and basically just let the market tell us what's going on. But what we need to understand is what the market means if something happens. Okay, so for me, it's that I mentioned already to you that the white count, which is the more direct escalation count, this will again be invalidated below $36.60. So that would then push the price most likely down into the support area in the C of 4. And $29 is going to be support. There will be $31.83 as first line of support once we enter that box. And yeah, but it could be that it's forming here this ending diagonal higher. That's what I'm watching. It could take us to around about $54. That's the next main Fibonacci level. But in reality, there is a lot of twists and turns can happen here. So don't necessarily focus on the absolute micro count. Just be aware that the focus can be on higher against 36.60. A break of that level doesn't invalidate further upside. It would simply allow for another drop to $29. But below 29, I have to assume that this A wave has topped. This A wave has topped. And then we could prepare ourselves for that B wave pullback that can take it, let's say into the low $20 region, maybe even below $20. So that could be a pullback that might align with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin gets another deeper pullback, after, a lot of coins are still due another high, but after that we could see a lot of, a last deep pullback in the crypto space before really an aggressive rally happens. I mean, already now the market is interesting, which is quite cool towards the end of the year, but still seems like a lot of the coins are caught in a correction. AVAX not necessarily yet, still pushing higher here. And yeah, I think the parameters are very well defined. So what I would do, I would currently just watch the $30.60 level, $36.60. There's a breakout point here, which will lead to a new high at $45.26. And $54 will be the next sort of target. Yeah. but we have to give it a bit of space, possibly all the way down to $29. But we know that we have to allow it to come down to 29 only as soon as 3660 breaks, because then this here isn't really a diagonal anymore. And I have to follow the yellow count. But in both scenarios at the moment, I'm still watching for another high. If things change, I will let you know. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.